to the PDCS podcast, the podcast that develops children's skills.
That's right, Ella, and we are coming to you today with a very special episode. An episode that I know will excite and entertain all of our listeners across the school.
You're right, Kennedy. Today's episode is a truly special one, but we have some very important guests joining us on the podcast.
Shall we give our listeners a reminder of our previous episode, Ella?
Go on then, Kennedy. In our previous episode, we rounded off by telling you all that our next guests were going to be professional footballers.
Oh yes, I remember that now. So, who have we got, Ella?
Well, Kennedy, do you remember when some children from PDCS got to visit Haverfordwest County AFC to become flag bearers and mascots for the day?
Oh yes I do. They had an amazing time meeting all of the players and fans that day.
Well, now is your chance to come and meet them too, because joining us on the podcast today is one of the fantastic 15 players for Haverfordwest County AFC and their community manager.
How awesome is that? And they're here now. Please welcome Alaric Jones and Harry Thomas.
Could you introduce yourselves to our listeners and outline your role within the club?
Yeah, so hi, my name's Harry and I'm the community manager at Haverfordwest County AFC, and that involves being visible on match days, sorting the mascots out, the flag bearers, you might see when they're waving the flags when they come onto the pitch, and being sort of visible in the community there.
And my name is Alaric. I am a player for the club and also manage the partnerships. So lots of different things involved in that role, but mostly kind of managing sponsors. So, you know, when you see a football kit and they've got a big logo in the middle here, my job to find them and manage them and try and make sure they're happy at the end of the season.
What responsibilities do you have in your current role?
So there's two parts to it for me. One is around match days, like I said, so making sure that we have a good amount of supporters coming to our games, making sure that when people do turn up they have fun. So we've had things like match day vendors there, providing lots of different food options. As I said before, mascots, flag bearers, Pure West Radio were there as well, doing the music and the entertainment. And the other side of it then is engaging in the community. So like we are here going into schools, we got coffee mornings and things like that.
For me, partnerships maybe sounds a little bit confusing and fluffy. What does that mean? But it's kind of just a broader term for becoming a team. So rather than just trying to kind of push our content to our fan, if we can team up with as many businesses or schools like yourselves around Pembrokeshire and across Wales, we're going to hopefully see more people, aren't we? So that's my job.
How long have you been doing your current job for?
So we actually both came in at a similar time. I came in June last year, so just over a year now. And what were you, Hedge?
July, so nearly a year for me.
Yeah, so in our first year, going into our second, and yeah, we love it.
What is the best part of your job?
I'll go. Yeah, so for me it would be being really sort of people-facing, doing a lot of work in the community. You see lots of different people, lots of different ages, backgrounds, and sort of making sure that they're happy, introducing them to the club, as well as there's so much more. But being customer-facing and speaking to people is something that I quite enjoy, yeah.
My favourite part is probably working in a team environment. So we're obviously quite a small group of staff. There's probably only 5 or 6 of us that work in the club, and because we're such a small team, we kind of all have to do different jobs. Although Harry's got his title and I've got mine, we kind of merge quite often, so every day is different. Like this week I've been one day in the office, one day around seeing people, and now we're here in a school. So yeah, really fun things we can do all the time.
Are there any challenges in your job? If so, how do you overcome them?
Yeah, so a challenge for me would be one of our match days. So we've got a target of having 1,000 supporters at our match days at home. So that for me is a challenge. We've hit it 3 times this year since coming back on New Year's Day, which is great. We want to get to a stage now where we maintain that no matter what day the fixture's on, what time and who we're playing. So that's one of my biggest challenges at the minute. Yeah.
I've got one and it's just gone out of my head. Sorry, I was thinking, so I'm only 24. I know I probably look a lot older, but I think for a job in our industry that's a little bit young. So people who are older tend to know a few more people. So kind of for me, meeting new people has been something that's been really important to me. If we're going to team up with businesses across Pembrokeshire, first of all I've got to know who they are. So to combat it, we've done lots of different things. Harry getting lots of people to games help, but as well as that we've put on networking events at the club where we kind of open the club for a day, get teas and coffees and biscuits, and invite as many people as we can and just have a conversation. So yeah.
What careers can you do in the world of football besides being a player?
So I'm definitely not a player, and I've done a few jobs in football since finishing school. So I went to Pembrokeshire College, did a sport course there, then went to university, and from university I started working at Swansea City, you might have heard of. Very similar to this role, going into schools, very sort of community driven and customer facing. So that's in education. So there's kind of football teaching kind of jobs. Obviously you've got nutritionists looking after the players, diets and stuff like that. You've got physiotherapists, you've got the media team that we've got there. And then the jobs that we do, so community, partnerships. And I think it's important to know that a lot of people want to be a football player, of course. So did I. But for the majority of people, it's probably more likely that you'll end up in football or in sport in a different way. So yeah, it's really important to recognise that, but there's so many jobs in football that you could get involved with, yeah.
I think Harry nailed that one, didn't he? I'll leave it there.
How long have you played football for?
So I have played football since I can remember, but I first signed for a team at 6. So can you work out how many years that is if I'm 24 now? Ooh, 18 years I've been playing. That's a long time, isn't it?
What age did you start following / becoming a fan of football?
Oh, I answered that one already, didn't I? So 6 properly playing, and like I say, before I can even remember, I'm sure I was watching the football next to my dad in the living room. So, what about you, Harv?
Yeah, I'm similar. So my dad supported Liverpool growing up. So I used to have all the shirts. Liverpool used to be quite sort of in my face a lot as a youngster, which is great. So I still support them now, as well as Haverfordwest, of course. But yeah, probably almost from birth, I was in the little baby grows and stuff. Yeah, football's sort of part of my life. Yeah.
How did you get into your career in football?
So I signed for Camrose, who are a little small village near Haverfordwest, and then got picked up by Swansea, so I played for them for a long time. And then once I left Swansea, I came and signed for Haverfordwest. Obviously I'm from Haverfordwest, so that made sense. I then went away for a little while to go to university, and now I finished my studies. I'm back down here, both playing and working, so it's worked out really nicely.
What is your favourite memory in your career?
So I've got lots of really good memories, got lots off the pitch, because obviously as well as playing football you get to meet loads of cool people. I've made loads of friends who I've made memories all over the world with, which is really cool. But on the pitch I would say probably captaining Wales. That was really, really cool and a proud moment.
Are you looking forward to playing in Europe?
I'm really excited, yeah. We've myself and Harry have bought some flyers for you today, so hopefully we may see you there. But yeah, super excited. It's definitely going to be a really hard game. So the team we're playing are from Malta, which is quite far away. So we fly out there tomorrow, play them away first, and then they come back over here. We play them twice. So yeah, lots of hard work gone into it, but I'm really excited.
Which team do you support aside Haverfordwest County, obviously?
Yeah, obviously aside Haverfordwest County, but Liverpool, so the same as Harry. What about you two? Who do you support? Do you support a team? Or is it just Haverfordwest?
Well, Tottenham's been in my face all the time because my brothers and my dad all support
Nice, Tottenham.
Yeah, my grandfather supports Tottenham as well. Nice.
I support Manchester United because most of my family do as well.
Oh, no way.
It's a rivalry between those two now.
What skills do you need to have to be a professional football player?
Lots of different skills, but for me I think probably 2. So resilience, so a lot of the time stuff happens that you probably don't want to happen, which happens in all kind of aspects of life, but being strong enough and working hard enough to kind of come back from that and keep chasing something you really want to do is really important. And then my other one I'd probably say is discipline. So that means when I tell myself I'm going to do something, I make sure I do it. Sometimes growing up my friends were going out and playing in the park till 9 o'clock at night and I had to come home because I had football. Sometimes that's not really what you want to do, but if you can kind of remember, no, when I'm older this is really where I want to go, and kind of make sure you do everything you can to get there. So yeah.
What is the most important thing you have learned as part of your career?
I've learned lots. I've probably learned a lot about discipline and resilience, the 2 I mentioned there. I think kind of as you go through things in your playing career, each time you get a little bit wiser. But yeah, I think learning is the main thing I've learned, kind of when we lose or when I do something really silly on the pitch, rather than getting mad at myself, I think, well, I'm just not going to do that again. So maybe in class if you get told off, rather than going crazy like I probably did when I was a little bit younger, think to yourself, what can I do better next time and make sure it doesn't happen? So that's probably my biggest one.
How have you found the footballing sessions in PDCS?
We've loved it. So you probably know that we've had a few coaches that have come in to deliver here. I'm one of them. We've probably had 3 others. And the feedback from all of them has been brilliant. I mean, to be here weekly is a real bonus for us because it means we can really engage with we see each week. It's obviously great to see people on a one-off basis, but when you have a block of work to see people and get to know them and know what they need to improve on and help them is really, really good. So yeah, obviously it's been great. We've linked up to be mascots and flag bearers at our home game as well. So we're not just looking to do stuff in school. We like to bring you down to the Bridge Meadow Stadium as well. But it's also helped us as a football club increase our kind of awareness and outreach. So I know that some of the pupils here hadn't heard of Haverfordwest County before, didn't really know what it was about, or that they could play in Europe even. So yeah, to raise that awareness for us has been great. And in the next couple of days, the case study that we've been doing together, some of the staff here, some of the pupils and myself, that's going to be going out on social media and on our website and things. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled for that.
Do you think the football sessions in PDCS have been beneficial for you and for us?
Yeah, I'd like to hope that they've been beneficial for you in terms of keeping your health and well-being really good, linking with your full purposes. Healthy and confident would be the kind of main one that we're looking at. But for us, as I say, just to make more people aware of Haverfordwest County is kind of one of our aims, as well as kind of making sure that people are physically active, because you have a half day on a Friday, don't you, sometimes?
Yeah.
So it's just what can we do in that half a day that means your well-being is looked after as well.
What advice would you give to children at PDCS who would like to pursue a career in football?
Well, as I said, there's lots of careers you can go into. It's not just playing, so please don't think it's only playing that you can do. There's so much more. But I think education is key. So like I said earlier, I went to college, then I went on to university. It's not the only route, but it's just the route that I took. And I think making sure that you keep working hard, being resilient, like Alric said, and pursuing whatever you want to do, what you enjoy, which you'll learn over time. Because when I was your age, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I knew I liked football and I liked cricket as well, which I still play now. But I didn't know that I wanted to be a community manager, let's say, when I was your age. So yeah, things will crop up and come across, and you take those opportunities. But yeah, keep working hard, and I'm sure you'll get there. Yeah.
Yeah, I think for me, maybe from a playing perspective, obviously not many children do end up being a professional. So I think at your guys' age, it's really important you just enjoy it, because what you want to do now may not be what you want to do at 16. So there's no point beating yourself up about it. And then kind of jobs outside of actually playing. I read something the other day where Liverpool have got thousands of staff across the world and only 35 of them are players. So I think if you keep that in your head, even if you're not on the pitch, you can definitely be a part of football if that's something that you love doing.
Is there anything that you'd like to add or mention?
We've already covered our European game. That was something we're really excited to tell people. Me and Harry are actually leaving here now and going to as many places as we can and telling them. So hopefully the crowd's nice and big.
Yeah, and then throughout the summer we're running multi-sport summer camps as well. So for 5 weeks across the summer, 3 days each week, we're going to be at the Bridge Meadow Stadium doing cricket, dodgeball, football, as many sports as we can. As I say, linking into keeping people physically active, looking at their health and well-being, and making sure that people have things to do in the holidays then as well.
I think as well, football's not just on the football pitch. I'm sure you guys, when you're allowed, go on your iPads or your phones or whatever it may be, and I would say keep an eye out for Haverfordwest on there. You've seen the badge a couple of times now, so when you're flicking through, if you ever see it, have a little look on there, because there's loads of stuff you might be interested in on there, not just the boring footballers like me.
How can we get involved in Haverfordwest County?
Lots of ways, yeah. So we are visible on like social media. We've got a club website and things, and there's lots of things you can get involved with on there. We have pay and play sessions every week. So for those children who maybe don't play for a team and don't have training every week, they can turn up, they can play some football for an hour. It's a really nice environment. There's a boys session and a girls session. And they just have lots of fun on a Wednesday evening between 4:30 and 5:30. We've also got our academy. Trials happen at the start of every year for that, but we're always keeping an eye out on grassroots for local talents and things, and trying to push them on into our teams. And we've got links with Swansea and Cardiff and things like that. Yeah.
And not just playing. I think even if you're not that interested in kicking the ball, you can still come down and shout with me when I'm playing. So whether you want to play or not, you can definitely come down to the Bridge Meadow and have a good time. Harry does an amazing job. On a match day. It's not just the football game that's going on. There's live music. We've got radio stations there. There's some really nice food. We've even had llamas and dogs there. So it's really family friendly. My mum doesn't really like football that much, but she comes just for everything else. So yeah, I'd say there's lots going on at the club, not just the stuff on the field.
How can we stay up to date with the latest news from the club?
Yeah, so we've got a newsletter that goes out monthly at the moment. So we're trying to get as many people onto there as we can to showcase everything involved with the club, like Alex just said. Obviously, we've got our social channels. Like today, like the flyers you can see on the table here, they're dotted around the community in hairdressers, in coffee shops. So yeah, like Alex said, if you see the badge, don't be afraid to have a look at it and see what's going on, or ask one of your coaches that are here on a Friday afternoon, and then it would be just keeping an eye on our club website for updates then.
Amazing, good job, girls.
I was one of the children that was lucky enough to come along with you, and I was a flag bearer, and so was some of my friends.
What can you remember about the night?
What I can remember sitting in the stand with my friend.
And was there loads of bright lights and loud music?
Yeah. I remember at half time we played a little game of football. And
On the
we also
pitch?
took some penalty shots, yeah.
Oh wow, and out of 10, what would you rate it?
10.
Yes.
That's good news for us.
What really interested me is all the different careers available, and my favourite subject is math, and you can use math to...
Work in loads of different jobs
Yeah.
in football.
Thank you guys for coming in to visit us, we really appreciate it.
Yeah, and also we really look forward to seeing you in the future, and we hope you can come back on the podcast soon.
Oh, thank you, girls. You've done a really good job. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks both.
Once again, a huge thank you to Harry Thomas and Alaric Jones for taking time out of their schedule to come and speak to us on the PDCS podcast. Thank you so much, guys. What I found interesting is all the different careers you can have through football, not by just being a player.
Yeah, for me, the important part was about how Alaric talked about being part of a team and using teamwork. Being part of the team is the whole reason why I'm a football fan.
Join us again for our last episode where we'll be saying goodbye to our PDCS podcast hosts.
Also, as part of that last episode, we'll also be saying goodbye to our head teacher, Mrs. Thomas. It's going to be an emotional one for sure. Until then, we hope you've enjoyed this episode and we hope we catch you soon.